Every day is upside down day in Thailand. Hi and welcome to the Thailand show where everybody's upside down. And today my guest is David. I'm so happy to have him here because you're kind of like, you have also met with a lot of handstand people. The only thing is you haven't made videos about it.
Yes, that's true, yeah.
Yeah, so it's really interesting to talk to you. And also he's been involved with all yoga for 10 years, is that right?
I would say running yoga trainings for 10 years now.
Yeah. And so it's going to be interesting to talk about the connection to yoga, and you also teach meditation.
Yes.
So, yeah. Could you give us a little bit of a background of yourself in terms of handstands? How did you start? And,
okay.
Yeah.
So actually I was thinking about it because of this interview, and actually my first memory of handstand actually come back to 15 years ago when I was in France.
Oh, wow.
So a long time ago. I wasn't doing handstand, but I have friends doing breakdancing. And I was very attracted by them, and I didn't know why. And I say, okay, I want to try. I didn't know why I like breakdancing, but when I tried, I have no sense of dancing, of rhythm. So I said, okay, it's not for me. I forget about breakdancing.
Okay.
But only later, I think about 10 years now, when I found yoga and the handstand practice, everything connected. Actually, what I was excited about in breakdancing was everything about inversion.
Oh, okay.
And when I was starting doing yoga and start to play with handstand, I was like, wow, that's what I like. I really enjoy the being upside down.
Yeah.
So I guess like the first interest unconsciously was like 15 years ago, and then it's become more like a conscious interest like 10 years ago when I started to do yoga.
So what is the connection between handstands and yoga?
I think first we need to define what we mean by yoga. So the way I define yoga is more like a state of mind, like being in the moment, being aware of what's happening right now. So if I define yoga like that, handstand and yoga is the same. Because when I do handstand, and especially like a difficult skill like one arm, my mind, my awareness has to be fully present to my body, to what is happening right now. So for me, that's yoga.
Okay, so it's more like a meditation.
So handstand become like a meditation practice, for sure. I cannot think of what I'm gonna eat tonight while I'm trying to balance on one arm.
Yeah.
To my level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because you teach meditation, do you meditate separately, or is handstands your meditation practice?
I do have a meditation practice as well that I do every morning. That's actually my main practice. But again, as we speak of meditation, it's more a state of mind. So it's not, okay, you can meditate 1 hour every morning, but it's 1 hour, the idea is to bring in throughout your days. So there's no separation. Now I'm sitting meditation, now I'm doing handstand, now I'm not meditating. We always try to stay in the same state of mind, of being in the moment.
And being fully aware of what you're doing in this moment.
Yeah.
Cool. I want to talk about your practice.
Okay.
What does your practice look like? Like what drills do you do? How often do you train?
Okay. So basically I try to train as much as possible. So I will train every day if I can. The only thing is I travel a lot, so I'm not always able to train every day.
Yeah,
if I can.
That pain.
Yeah, so if I can, let's say I'm not traveling anywhere for more than 2 weeks, I will train 5 to 6 days a week, 1 day off. And I'm speaking every day 3, 4, 5 hours in the gym. So now if I say 5 hours, like of really doing something on my hands, maybe 2 hours and a half.
Yeah.
And in terms of structure, I spend a lot of time stretching. So maybe first hour is like stretching, especially for the middle split, then wrist, and then I will have maybe 30 minutes of two hands conditionings, or going back through all the basic, and then focus on one arm drills.
And I find it really interesting. We were training together the other day, and you have drills from all the teachers basically that you learned from. So first of all, can you let us know who you've worked with in the past?
Okay, I think sorry. My first teacher was Yuval that I trained with for. I think the first time we worked together was 6 years ago. So I was doing online coaching with him for, I think, at least 2 years. Weekly video, weekly feedback. So it was the first one to teach me what is a correct, like the most efficient way to do handstand compared to forcing through it. And so it was.
You had a yoga handstand before that,
yes,
right?
Yes. And we can speak about it later, but what's the difference? But yeah, so Yuval was the first one to give me a good understanding of what is a handstand as per hand balancing. Then I trained with Miguel, I believe 4 or 5 years ago. So that's a long time already.
Yeah.
Then I met Nicolas de Montes, which became, I think I will say now, my main teacher. The one who I follow the training program. And I train with Sushma as well. Sushma. And I met a few other hand balancers. I can think of Andre. I can think of I met Andre. I met, what's his name? I don't remember his name. Forget it.
Where is he from?
He's from Las Vegas. In the show, he worked in the movie The Greatest Showman. Kazul.
Oh,
Kazul,
Kazul.
Contortionist as well.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I train with him. I train with the hand. Yeah, and I have many handstand friends with who I practice with.
Yeah, cool. So now you have your drills and they have the names of the teachers.
Yeah, because
that?
the way I structure my trainings. I mean, recently I used to write what all the drills I did, but now I changed. I write before I train what I'm gonna do. And just to simplify the writing, instead of calling okay, now I'm gonna do full pose and straddles and tuck in piano, 5 fingers and 3 fingers. Instead of writing that, I just call, C set, let's say, is a Yuval set.
Yeah.
Then I have the Miguel set, which is basically facing the wall, one arm. Okay. Then I have the Nico set, which is a 2 switch on fingertip and lifting the hands and coming back. That's the Nicolas. The Sushma, which is a very important one, you go in piano, 3 or 5 fingers, and you do reps, open, close, that 3 reps, and then straddle, tuck, 3 reps, both sides. That's the Sushma. I have the Andre, which is very cool. You go into handstand 2 hands, then head in, 5 seconds, tuck, head in, 5 seconds, release the head, heads out, tuck, 5 seconds, come back straight, heads out, 5 seconds. So that's one Andre set.
But that's on 2 arms, right?
In 2 arms, yeah.
Cool. I want to talk more about... no, actually, I want to ask you, since you've had so many teachers, how is it for you? Did you ever feel like you didn't know which direction to take in your training because of that?
I don't think so, because when you start to work in one arm, the direction and the advice from teacher is basically always the same, which is push more. Push more. Yeah. And of course, every teacher approach it a bit different. So I will take, from every teacher, I will take some drills, which I think is important, and combine it together. Yeah. But they all say the same thing, basically.
And in the end, it's just about the practice, right?
Practice and pushing more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we can get to the topic I wanted to actually dive deep into.
Should we wait for the boat?
Yeah, well, let's wait for the boat to pass.
Actually, I met so many other teachers, I just think about it.
Yeah.
I met Michael, I met Harry, I met
Oh yeah.
all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, it doesn't just
Okay. Oh yeah, and actually, you host Yuval's retreat.
Yes. Handstand training.
Yeah, in Thailand.
Yes.
Is that at the same facility of the Al Yoga teacher training?
Correct. Yeah. Beautiful place.
Yeah. How is the crossover between yoga people and handstands? I can see that you also have handstands as a part of your yoga teacher training. Is that common? Or is that very unique to all yoga?
I believe it's unique to us. Not unique, but the way we teach handstand in our yoga training, we take the approach of hand balancing, which is quite different from a yoga approach. So in that way, we are quite specific in the way we teach handstand.
Yeah. So it's completely disconnected from all the yoga training or like yoga practice.
It's not. We're still in a physical practice, so it's not disconnected. It's just the way we teach. We're gonna use cues, which is different from yoga cues. For example, let's understand that when we do handstand in yoga, it's always used as a transition pose. Maybe you stay 5 breaths and then you jump back or you go to another pose. While when we do handstand in hand balancing, we will stay like 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes on our hands. So the way we approach handstand has to be a lot more efficient in hand balancing, and that's the way we teach here in our yoga trainings. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it totally makes sense. But I believe there are some differences just in the way you practice yoga and the way you practice handstands. Because in handstands you have a set and then you rest, and yoga is very flowy. Like you never really have a stop.
So basically, it's like, let's say we do yoga in a yoga. Let's say we do handstand in a yoga class as per like a sequence or a flow. We won't be picky about the alignment because we don't stay into handstand. Okay, so banana shape is fine. Everything it's okay. We are just flowing, connecting movement with breath, which is what really matters. So we don't really care about your line. But if we teach a workshop which address how to do a efficient handstand and how to teach handstand also to beginner, then we teach the hand balancing way. We use drills, cues, understanding, which come from circus and hand balancing and not from yoga.
Yeah. How do you deal with the breath? Because the breath has such an important role in yoga, whereas in handstands, oftentimes you never talk about it.
Good questions. So again, like we do handstand at a high level. High level, I mean, it's like starting to work on the one arms. The breath, you don't think about it. You just try to breathe as shallow as possible to minimize physical movement.
Yeah.
But like things that I use will be like, okay, if I kick in, jump in, okay, I will use my inhalation. But in handstand we try to minimize the breathing pattern.
Do the yoga students have trouble not like focusing on the breath? Do they sometimes ask you what they should do about it?
I think when you learn handstand, whether you do yoga or hand balancing, the first things first is to learn to balance, like to have understanding of the physical activation of muscle, like pushing enough from the shoulder, chest in.
Yeah.
The breath doesn't really matter at the beginning stage.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I just told them, okay, if you want to jump in, okay, inhale, but actually it doesn't matter.
Okay, and they accept it.
Yeah, it's fine. It's okay.
Because I've just read on social media, and also actually I have students from yoga who are worried about not breathing enough, and I tell them it's fine, like you won't die, you can't stay up long enough. In
the yoga world there's a lot of belief. Okay, you should do that, if you don't do that it won't work,
Yeah.
For me it's just belief. There's no truth into it. So handstand, you just do handstand. What's the best drill to do handstand? You do handstand.
Do handstands.
I don't need to do like people say, okay, you need to do sun salutation 10 times and then you do your handstand.
Yeah, I totally agree.
The worst things I heard into the yoga sphere is like, okay, if you want to learn handstand, you can only learn handstand by pressing into handstand.
Oh. Okay.
So I was like saying, like yoga student, oh, why you cannot do handstand? You've been practicing for many years. Yeah, because my teacher tell me the only way to enter handstand in a proper way is to press to it. I'm like, okay, so you just wait 3 years of your life. Like,
damn.
yeah, so a lot of nonsense in
Yeah.
terms of training handstand in the yoga field.
Yeah, also regarding core tension.
Oh yeah, that's a big one, right? Like
Yeah.
yoga students say, oh, I cannot do handstand, I don't have enough core.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, we all need cores to stand up.
Yeah.
Like on your 2 feet, you need core to stand up, but that's the only core you need for upside down as well.
Yeah.
You don't need to have 6-pack to do handstand,
Yeah.
basically. But that's a big, it's very cliche. Oh,
Yeah.
you can do handstand, you must have a strong core. So
Yeah.
not really.
Yeah, no, not really. Yeah, but why do you think so many yoga people are interested in handstands?
So if we speak yoga as a physical practice, I think many yoga practitioners want to do handstand. Why? Because it's cool. Or when I say it's cool, because it will bring them. Now we have the belief if you cannot do handstand, you are not good in yoga, which is not true. But that means handstand become like a basic skill in yoga as well. Okay, for 10 years ago, if someone do handstand and even very bad shape, he will be like, wow, this guy is like such a
Yeah.
good yogi.
Yeah.
But now, handstand becomes such a normal drill that you need to be able to do it on a consistent level, to think of yourself, okay, now I'm a good yoga practitioner, I'm
Yeah.
a yoga teacher.
Yeah.
But for me, it's still a belief. I'm sure the best yoga teacher doesn't have to do handstand to be very good at teaching yoga.
What makes up a good yoga teacher?
Ooh. Again, it depends what we define by yoga. For me, kind of go out of the interview about handstand, but a good yoga teacher is simply someone which gonna serve and help students to feel better about themselves. So all the physical aspect of yoga is just an excuse to help that person to know better about themselves, so they can know themselves better and overcome any limitations, suffering, and just be a better person.
So it's just a tool, basically.
It's just a tool.
But it seems like yoga is kind of taking a direction towards circus.
Okay?
I feel like, well, the whole physicality is being, like, how do you call that? Exaggerated.
Yes.
Like, it has such a huge presence. And a lot of people who do yoga or yoga influencers are being drawn towards circus.
Yes.
Actually doing handstands on canes.
Yes, true, very true.
And stuff like that.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Again, it's a way, for them, they use like advanced skills as a way to market themselves and differentiate themselves from other teachers. So look what I can do. So that means I'm a better yoga teacher, which again is not true. Okay? But yes, nowadays we live in a social media area, which is involved the sense of saying what you see. And if you see someone sitting in meditation, it's not really interesting. If you see someone doing one arm, you'll be, wow, okay, I want to learn with that person. He looks cool, you know.
True, that's a very good point.
Actually, it's more for marketing, I would say.
Yeah.
And of course, we can go to the story, because I want to challenge myself and I want to, know what I can do with my body, which is true as well. But when I see people only do like advanced like skills and posting on social media, for me it's just marketing tools.
Yeah. I never really thought about that. It's like the only way to market yoga, actually. I mean, except for talking about it, but nothing is as powerful as something visual, and that's just the physical.
And which is a good thing, because some people say, oh, it's not yoga, and some people say you cannot tell it's yoga, it's not yoga. For me, if someone sees something very cool and inspired and want to start yoga because of that, that's already positive.
Yeah.
Because eventually, what starts from a physical inspiration, eventually will become something more spiritual, more like, about what's going on inside. How can I become a better person? So yoga, we come to yoga from the physical aspect, but eventually we're gonna change what we cannot see with the eyes, the internal aspect of yoga.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
Yeah, it actually is.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much for being on the show. It was a pleasure talking to you and especially hanging out with you here in this beautiful area. And I'm kind of jealous of you. You have like a great life, giving yoga teacher trainings in the most beautiful places in the world.
Thank you for inviting me to do this interview. It was very fun.
Yeah. Well, I hope we can come sometime again. And
Anytime, you're welcome. Everybody's welcome to check us out for sure.
Yeah, I will put all the links down below to the yoga teacher trainings and to your Instagram and anything else you want to share. So don't hesitate to comment down below if you have any more questions or if you want to just tell us what you think. And other than that, it's never too late to do what you love, and I'll see you next Monday on the Sonjiland Show. Thanks for watching.
Great.